we'll call this meeting of the Freeman School Board to order. First item on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next item on the agenda, roll call.
Emily.
Yes.
David. Doug.
Yes.
Carissa.
Yes.
Cody.
Yes.
Next item on the agenda is the approval of the agenda. Did you want to go over the amended items?
Yes, we have a couple items in the consent agenda. With E and F, the new E and F. Everything is highlighted in yellow that has been added. And then, under new business, number 10 was adjusted to the different language used for it by adding the joint powers agreement to that to make that more official. And then we added for new business, item 14, board will hold a discussion about health insurance rates for FY 2025. So we have the actual health insurance discussion earlier. This is for the actual discussion and approval of the rates that would be offered to our staff. And that's the motion for 15. And then 16, we discussed at our special board meeting of having another special board meeting. So that was 16 is the motion to approve the additional board meeting, special board meeting April 24th.
Okay. Are there any questions? If there's not, I will require a motion to approve the amended agenda. Do I have a motion? So moved. Motion by Carissa. Do I have a second? Second by Cody. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda, conflict of interest disclosures.
Received none.
Okay. Next item on the agenda, public input. Next item on the agenda, consent agenda. Will require a motion to approve the following: the minutes of the regularly scheduled school board meeting on March 4th, 2024, the minutes of the special school board meeting on March 28th, 2024, the minutes of the Corn Belt Cooperative Board of Advisors meeting of March 12th, 2024, the contract of Bailey Laggy, 4th grade teacher for the 2024-2025 school year, the conditions of employment for Emily Stern for the position of junior senior high school administrative assistant for the remainder of the 2023-2024 school year, the resignation of Christina Sage from the position of teacher activities director, and we thank her for her years of service, financial reports and claims. And do I have a motion? Motion by David. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Doug. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda, administrative report, starting with elementary principal.
Our fifth grade had their growth and development presentation on May 3rd. Dr. Gibby came over this year, and then he met with the boys, and then the county health nurse met with the fifth grade girls. It's one of those talks I avoided for 32 years and never had to do. Our dial screening, our kindergarten roundup preschool happened to fall on one of our last snow day, and the co-op has rescheduled that for April 10th, so that'll be Wednesday of this week. Elementary Science Day this week on Friday, the 12th. It's a senior project for Emily Canodal, with, I think, a lot of guidance from Katie. Katie used to do a Science Day at the elementary. Severe Weather Week is this week, but I couldn't find anything about a statewide tornado drill. Usually there's a statewide tornado drill during Severe Weather Week, but I couldn't find the date on that. It's usually that Wednesday, but have you heard anything, Jake?
I have not, but I'll look into it tomorrow.
Tornado drill during our dial screening probably wouldn't be the best. April 18th is our flyer invite, and the school dismisses at 12. The 29th is our wizard relay. We dismiss at 2. And then the 30th is our Don Didi, and we dismiss at 12. Elementary music contest is on May 3rd. Elementary rally day is on May 10th. And then our rain day would be that following Monday, the 13th. And then smarter balance testing is continuing throughout the building. And then our peace poster calendar with Ted Curry. Teddy, this was through the Lions Club. Teddy got first place in the Freeman Lions Club peace poster contest. And then he got first place in the district. And then he got second place in the multi-district competition. And then he was actually chosen one of 12 kids in the state of South Dakota to be in their calendar. This was the picture that made the month of November for this coming year. So I'm gonna give that to Teddy tomorrow.
Thanks, Jean. All right, next item on the agenda, high school principal report.
All right, lots going on. So nice job to our 7 through 12 students in the music department on their spring concert. Nice job to our middle school and high school quiz bowl teams. And their advisor, Mrs. Sage, the 7th grade team was the championship in their division, so that was fun for them. Fantastic job to our high school band and chorus students and Mrs. Whiff, Miss Luter, and Mrs. Waltner at the Region 1 band and vocal contest. All groups that went received superiors, including our band, which is rather difficult to do because they're playing against big bands, right? But they did a fantastic job. If you heard them at the spring concert, you know that. Thank you to Riley Gosen and Mrs. Whiff for organizing and running the blood drive on March 27th. That went well. Excellent job to our juniors and their advisors, Miss Heidi Schrog, Miss Joyce Hora, Mrs. April Gosen, Mr. Seth Lupborough, and Miss Paige Hofer for their City of Lights themed prom. Prom went well, as far as I'm aware, too. Congrats to our FFA students at the district qualifier today. In order to qualify for state, you have to be one of the top 4 teams or top 5 individuals that are not on a top team to advance, and 15 out of our 24 students have advanced to state FFA, so that's exciting. We celebrated FFA week, March 18th through the 22nd. We celebrated Paraprofessional Appreciation Day. Last week, we volunteered. We had a group of students do Meals on Wheels. We picked up trash here and at the park, and then the softball field, they picked up rocks and then played bingo at both of the nursing homes. So that was great for those students. And we did that on the day that 90-some students were at the band and chorus. So then we didn't have so many to divide amongst the places. So that worked out great. We hosted honors choir auditions on April 4th here. Today, we did try to view the solar eclipse. Clearly, that was a fail, but we tried, and we had some Star Crunch snacks, so that was fun. You will see attached on here is Megan's Impact Scholarship, and that is going to be implemented this year from Megan's family. So you'll see next year we'll include this write-up in our handbook, much like we do for the other scholarships that are specific to the Freeman High School. So that is what that will look like. And then I've included kind of what the information for applicants looks like, what kind of qualities they're looking for. And then also I have added just the application form so you can kind of see what that looks like. So just so you know that will be a part of that, and we thank Megan's family for doing that. Our first rollout of the middle school, high school calendar schedule for next year went out last week, but obviously we were going to have some changes in staff, and so it'll need to be changed. There's no point in showing you. We are currently testing for Smarter Balance, and we will host 3 track meets on those 3 dates. And then some of the upcoming things, we're doing testing right now this week for middle school, high school. We have Science Day for the elementary students on the 12th. That involves 3 of our high school students. And then on April 17th, Freeman Academy is having a speaker come over. It's You Matter. And so we're just gonna have a sign-up sheet. Any student that wants to sign up will take them over there for them to listen to that speaker. It's youth suicide prevention. And then there's also a mini maker camp in Bonham that day. So we have, I think right now we have 8 students signed up to go to that, which looks at some egg mechanics stuff. It looks at drone building. I don't even know, there's a whole host of things that are on that. So students can sign up for that, and we do have some going. State FFA, April 18th through the 20th, and then we do have 4 students going to the Aztec welding competition in Yankton. And so that'll be good for them. And then FFA banquet at 6:30 on May 3rd.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Great, next item on the agenda, superintendent report.
It feels like we've been talking about this for the last 6 months. It's because we have. But the oven is finally ordered. There's a lot more red tape to go through than I ever anticipated to order a piece of equipment for a kitchen. But that process is through, and we have it on order. It'll be installed this summer when it arrives. So ultimately, it worked out better probably to have it done during the summer months. A little bit easier as far as install when there's not as many people in the building and when it's not in use. The action plan in response to the fire marshal's report was submitted. That just has to have an outline of what the plan is moving forward. A lot of that plan for in town here had already been determined. Something like our Emergency lights have been, we've been staging in, replacing those, primarily in the gym. Those are probably original to the gymnasium, so it's good to get those updated. And then some of our exit lights, we're looking at updating those as well. That was one of the main items there. There's one other area where we have to electrify at the door holds going into the locker room area, so that's something we'll put a plan in place to have that fixed. The main items though that were addressed by the fire marshal were items out at the colony, so I've been working with the colony heads out there to make sure those improvements are made. Cheddar Colony has pretty much all theirs done already. Wolf Creek, I'll do another follow-up and make sure that we have those improvements made. Accreditation review is, the final submission is April 18th, so looking forward to get that process over with. And I would like to schedule a facilities and grounds committee meeting within the next month to start planning a solution for our shop area. Now that we have a teacher hired, there's going to be some equipment needs that are needed in the immediate future, so putting together a plan for how we can meet those needs. So I'll be in touch with our two facilities and grounds board members to schedule that meeting within the next month here. And it's hard to believe that in the next month, this is the last month of the school year. School will be over, and we'll be on the last week of school at our next board meeting.
That's awesome.
Crazy to think.
Next item on the agenda is unfinished business. In regards to the teacher negotiated agreement for the 2024-2025 school year. I don't know, Jake, if you want to provide any updates in regards to that,
Nothing new as far as,
just that they had brought it back to the broader.
This year improved our process, I think, by taking the agreement, sharing it with the staff, getting feedback from the staff, and then ultimately signing for approval of that. And now it's the board's turn to take action and approve it. But nothing new, nothing additional to what we discussed that night in negotiations. Appreciate the work that the negotiators did, and it was a very smooth process, and I think it went well.
All right, then I will require a motion to approve the teacher negotiated agreement for the 2024-2025 school year. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Doug. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Cody. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next on the agenda, new business. The school board will receive a fiscal year 2024 budget update from the business manager.
So some of this I know Tammy went over when she was here before my time, our excess fund balance in our general fund. So I included in a letter just to kind of briefly go over it before I talk about other things. So we got a letter from the Department of Education saying that we are exceeding the allowable general fund cash balance percentage. So we are allowed to basically carry over 30% of our general fund expenditures. And we were over that by 4.45. So that led to basically an excess cash balance of $178,000 and $418. A lot of that was caused by the federal funding we got because of COVID, the ESSER funding the last few years. A large part of that ESSER was budgeted for salaries, which is a normal district expense. So it just kind of skewed our budget and left this excess, which sounds great, but unfortunately it's a use it or lose it. For FY '24, they were providing waivers, so we weren't penalized, we could spend it. But for FY '25, those waivers come to an end. So basically this year we have been trying to spend down that extra money so we don't lose it. So the second sheet kind of gives a breakdown of what we've been spending it on. A lot of it's just supplies. A big portion of it was the bonuses we did in December. And then two things that haven't been paid yet but will be paid at the end of April are some early retirement for a couple district employees that were grandfathered into a negotiated agreement. So that will be paid out on April 20th. So that will pretty much conclude our excess fund cash balance in our general fund, which is exciting because we're nearing the end of our fiscal year. So we needed that to be done with. So kind of going back to the financial spreadsheet that I did that was approved just now. Looking at the March cash balance for our general fund, we are $107,740 less than last year at the end of March. So that's pretty much comparable to what this excess cash balance was, excluding those 2 payouts for the early retirement. So I'm predicting that at the end of April, we'll be pretty much spot on where we want to be with our budget.
Okay.
Minus excess cash. So going into this next fiscal year, we should be sitting really good and we shouldn't be over our excess general fund. So we're sitting at a really healthy spot, really good spot. Any questions on all that?
The remaining $2,000 balance, could that be used for shop supplies?
Honestly, I think that's a good wiggle room for other expenses that probably have been paid out, that maybe have went over about budget for supplies. So that $2,000, I think it's a good wash.
It's a little sticky when you're using general fund for
I'm
those.
just seeing that in my little $2,000 for
Yeah.
stuff.
And a lot of, hopefully, the shop expenses will come out of capital outlay, depending on what we need for supplies.
Sure. This is the general fund.
Grants.
$3 too.
Yep, that makes sense. Any other questions before we move on? Okay, so if not, we'll move on to the next item on the agenda. The school board will be presented with information about the summer strength conditioning and agility program.
Mr. Freeman is here.
Yes.
Yay.
I don't know if people want one of these, but hand them out. This is just a rough draft of the registration form that I put together.
Thank you.
So, been thinking about this for all year. In fact, when I talked to Jake several months ago, talking about putting something together for our strength and conditioning program for the summertime. So instead of hiring someone else out, I'm a big firm believer that consistency is extremely important when it comes to coaching, when it comes to a lot of different things, and this is one of them. As far as the strength and conditioning program, terminology stays the same, it stays consistent. But one of the things that I have been thinking about is having it go for even elementary kids. And one of the reasons is getting the kids a little bit more self-aware of their body movements, working on basic foundational movements and biomotor skills, if you can see that. So the very bottom one is for 1 to 3rd graders, called a Little Flyer Strength Program, looking at 4 days a week. And I think, yeah, that's the right time, 8 to 8:30 for 4 weeks. Primary focus would be basics of foundational movements, biomotor skills, and incorporating what is called LTAD, which is long-term athletic development. Many countries outside of the United States have really pushed this long-term athletic development, and a lot of it has to do with streamlining on how kids are being taught athletics and motor skills. And so a lot of other countries have been starting to do it. I was involved in USA Hockey for many years. After USA Hockey started involving it into all of their programs, especially with the younger kids, they started seeing almost an immediate return on their investment when it came to world championships, and also seeing more athletes from the United States at the NHL level, at the pro level. So they're starting to see that. Other USA baseball, I think, is starting to incorporate that into their younger programs as well. So that's something that I'd like to see on this. Secondary focus, just basic overall health. Make sure they're eating properly, hydration, so on and so forth. Then going on, stepping it up a little bit, to the 4th and 6th graders, call it a junior flyer strength program. Same thing as far as time-wise goes, half an hour, 4 days a week for 4 weeks. Basically transitioning from those basic movements to a more complex movements and biomotor skills, still incorporating the concepts of long-term athletic development, but giving them a little bit more self-awareness of overall health. I'm not for sure if that's the proper terminology I wanted to use, but what I'm looking for is that so that they can start making better decisions for themselves. So they're getting at that age where they can start making those concepts and those reasoning skills. So I'm not for sure if that's the word I want to use, but I think that's kind of the concept that I want to try to promote. And then, of course, the 7th through 12th grade, the Flyer Strength Program, that's going to be for Monday through Thursday, same thing, 4 days a week, 6:30 to 8, so it's going to be an hour-and-a-half program for 6 weeks, 4 weeks in June, 2 weeks in July, and their primary focus is strength, power, speed, endurance, mobility, flexibility, and coordination, agility, proper form and movements, and if you talk to anybody that I've worked with, they say that I'm a stickler on form. I'm huge on it. Stretching, and then understanding goal setting on the importance of making a goal to have that outcome that they want. And that gets into some of the process, performance, and outcome goals, and then working on what's called atomic habits. And then the secondary focus is working on overall health to optimize performance in competition. Any questions?
Love it. Anybody else?
If you don't reach 20, can moms?
Say what? Say what?
If you don't reach 20 people, can moms sign up?
You bet. Oh, definitely, definitely.
I'll be there.
So that question did, not the question if we didn't reach to 20, but what if we have more than 20? And,
Or even more for more than 10, I'm even thinking for the younger grades too, then.
that might be a little bit more difficult, and for the primary reason of
yeah.
getting, having a young student or a young child myself, trying to change some of those time frames and stuff like that, and adding and everything else sometimes can be a little bit. And I only put a limit of 10 at first because I'm like going, this is something new.
Sure, yeah.
And I want to make sure that if we're going to start off, let's start off on the right foot, instead of going, oh, hey, we're going to take 20 kids, and it ends up not being very good. So I think let's focus on 10. And we've even talked about maybe, helping some of the other older kids, is maybe bringing 1 or 2 of them down to kind of help with that, give them a little discount on their tuition, so to speak, and then they can kind of help out with that. But with the older kids, if we do get we discussed this, that we were thinking the limit of 20 or 25. The more I thought about it, I thought, let's limit it to 20. But if we do get enough interest, so if we get up to 30, I would add another time frame from 9:30 to 11.
Oh, sure, okay.
So we could add on to that if we have the interest. Another thing that Jake and I talked about was that, do we want to offer it to the Marion kids? Do we want to offer it to Freeman Academy? That's something we could possibly do.
We had discussed opening it up to the Freeman public kids first, and if there's seats still available, then
Extending,
another 2.
that makes sense.
Treat it kind of like we do with our.
The preschool.
Preschool.
Yep.
Freeman first, and then if we need the numbers, then by all means.
Right.
When do you anticipate sign-up sheets going out?
I'm hoping to have this complete by this coming weekend.
Awesome.
So they'll be ready for by next Friday, or next Monday, excuse me.
I'm trying to, so in years past, I know we've done Coach Rosie. I'm just curious how these prices compare to that. It seems a lot cheaper. This does.
So
It's pretty expensive, if I'm remembering right. Yes, aren't I? Yeah.
1 year, the Booster Club.
Yes, did supplement, but then the other year, I think last year they did not. I remember it being quite spendy.
I did check on his.
remember.
I checked on his
It was
website.
very reasonable, I think, price-wise, and I don't think online whatsoever. So this would be a self-funded program, so,
Self-funded, yep, it does need board approval since we're using the facility, and the finances are gonna flow through the district.
right, but it's all paid for.
Self-sustaining.
It's good. Good logical sense to me.
That way too, if a student were to get hurt, it would be under the school's insurance and.
I love the idea of doing the younger kids too. I think that's really awesome. So, any other questions?
Sounds great.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next item on the agenda will require a motion to approve the summer strength conditioning and agility program. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Oh, motion by Cody.
Yeah, I think I got you
Just
on that one.
slightly before. Do I have a second?
Second.
Carissa. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next on the agenda is the 2024-2025 school district calendar.
Says final at the top, but it's not completely final. We're still waiting on our football schedule. That's something that's been anticipated by every district across South Dakota. Hopefully, we have that schedule here shortly, one of these weeks. Until then, it is marked as homecoming as TBD on this document, but we have families that are going to start scheduling summer vacations and whatnot. So we need to get this posted on our website and get this out there for families to start looking at for vacation time in the summer and throughout the school year.
I don't think there's, other than that, there's no differences than the last time that we looked at it, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Any questions or further discussion? With no further discussion, I'll take a motion to approve the 2024-2025 school district calendar. Do I have a motion?
Yeah, motion to approve.
Motion by Doug. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Carissa. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next on the agenda, the school board will receive information about the summer driver's education program.
In your packets, you have the informational letter that is available for families. Has the price included on that and has all the dates included for it. This is also something that financially will flow through the district, so it's something that requires board approval. And we're also using our school vehicle and our facility for the education portion of it. So that would require board approval as well. Similar to what we just discussed, the deadline is May 10th, as you can see underlined about midway down. Once we get to the deadline, currently we have 12 kids that are signed up, so it's capped at 20, so there's 8 more seats available for anybody that is interested. If we still have seats available, we will open it up to outside communities to fill those remaining 8 spots, or whatever number of spots we have.
I know just looking at the 14 years of age or older is a preference for the driver's education teacher and not necessarily in line with South Dakota.
Yep, and there was some inconsistencies with us and with Marion and Freeman Academy, who have another class that are going, and I communicated with her, and she was gonna reach out to them and make sure that got adjusted on their documents as well.
I just wanted to make sure, yep. That was noted, so.
Are they driving a bus? What school vehicle are they gonna be using?
Impala. That's the only vehicle that we have that has a passenger side brake on it.
Sure.
Pretty-
I need one of those installed in my vehicle, or my child's vehicle. Okay.
So it is important that we use that vehicle because it does draw down the cost. If we were to
absolutely.
lease a vehicle,
Yep, that would be.
significantly more expensive.
So you're saying she prefers them to do 14? Because Carson took it last year. He
Yeah, I know Quentin as well. He
Yeah,
didn't turn
okay,
14 until November.
Must
so
have decided that was
I think-
too.
I know, I think that,
See,
we might
would
be
have
to
a
blame,
13.
Carissa.
Yeah.
We didn't get the whole story, did we? when they
No,
called?
apparently not. Our children drove together too. Uh-oh, this is all making sense now.
Yep.
Okay.
I would sign my son up.
Right. Any further discussions or questions? If there's no further discussion, I will take a motion to approve the use of a school vehicle and the school facility for the summer driver's education program. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by David. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Doug. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next on the agenda is the resolution for membership to the SDHSAA for the 2024-2025 school year.
There's a copy of that resolution in your packets. Pretty simple, something we do every year. I just need Emily to sign that one.
I'll try not to steal it like I did last year. All right. Any questions or discussion? If there's no discussion, I will require a motion to approve the resolution for membership to the SDHSAA for the 2024-2025 school year. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Cody. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Carissa. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next up on the agenda, the school board will hold a discussion about the district health insurance quotes received for fiscal year 2025.
This is an exciting one. This has been something that Jake and I have been talking about for the last 2 months. We're excited it's finally maybe coming full circle to an end. But a couple months ago, Bryce with Northern Plains Insurance Pool reached out to me and just asked if I would send him some basic information on our insurance, like our demographic and data and claim history and all that. So I gathered everything he needed, sent it to us, and he came back and met with Jake and I. And in your packets, you'll see that first quote. That's what he presented us. So basically, he took the 3 plans that we offer right now, 1,000 deductible, 1,500, and 2,000, and he compared it to plans that Northern Plains has that are very comparable, basically the same plan. So kind of the important piece is the data on the bottom left there. So you can see right now our current pool, ASB-SD, has a yearly total amount, and then his quoted amount, and you can see that percent change, which is a negative 22.45%. So we would see a savings of $206,000, just a little bit over. Then a couple weeks ago, I attended the ASB-SD renewal meeting, which was in Chamberlain. And basically, we're seeing a 0% increase from them this year. So every premium would stay the same this year for next year. So our prices would all stay the same. You can see though, kind of plan by plan, how much we're being overcharged for our premiums. It's pretty apparent. I reached out to several business managers that are within this pool, and they're all extremely happy with this pool. They've either seen 0 increases they've either seen 0 increases or even a decrease in their percent change, which we are definitely should be receiving decreases in our premiums, just based off our claim history the last few years. But unfortunately, we have not. We saw a 2% increase last year, a 4% increase before that, and then I think like a 2% the previous year. So, anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, so health insurance is a monster. I mean, that's a huge deal. It's very important for all of our families that are on it. So we wanted to make sure we gathered feedback from staff. So we, based off of the usage, the percentage of the usage between our different employee groups, we invited each of those employee groups to send a representative to meet and to discuss, walk through these plans that were in these proposals. The committee met for the first time and thought it was very interesting and wanted to hear more, so we invited Bryce to talk to our staff, and for the next meeting, we opened it up to the entire staff, so every employee had the opportunity to come in and hear more information from him. We gave that a couple of days, and the Insurance Review Committee met again and voted unanimously that this was a plan that they wanted to move forward with.
Did you have pretty good attendance from staff?
Yeah, it was. Do you remember, guys? It was about...
No, but he said that was the biggest attendance he's ever seen in.
It was over 20.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Pretty
it was,
good.
it was pretty good. Yeah. And all the feedback I received was very positive. you know, obviously, so plan by plan, they're all very comparable. Out of pocket, or the deductibles would be the same. Out of pocket is where you see an increase with this new insurance pool. It would be a $500 increase for single and $1,000 for family. But I think a lot of people felt that lower premiums were the better option. They'd rather have a lower premium than worry about the out-of-pocket max. So that's pretty much the feedback that I would received. It was all positive.
And then there's that 75,000 penalty to leave.
Yes, yes. So unfortunately, to leave the current pool that we're in, that it's probably will be about 70. I'm putting 75 to be more conservative. NPIP does not have that in their agreement. If we ever wanted to leave this insurance pool, it would be at zero cost. One awesome thing about NPIP too is that if their pool all around does really good one year, they'll actually give dividends back to the school district. So we would receive money back. And ASB, SD does not do that.
That's very common.
Bryce has been awesome to work with. He's been extremely helpful, and I think it would be a really positive thing. Improve our benefits, lower our premiums. Be a win for the employee, a win for us.
That makes good sense. Any other questions, comments?
There is kind of a breakdown of NPIP, what makes the best choice for the school district, just giving the advantages. A lot of it is exactly the same that ASB SD offers. Some things, it's more administrative, like me, is more of a benefit. They're a little bit more user-friendly. We can do online enrollment instead of paper enrollment, so it takes the risk of error off on behalf of me. Another cool thing, they do like a $20 gym reimbursement program for employees. If they visit a gym 8 times or more, they'll reimburse them. And the group handles that. That's nothing that's through the school. But this is something I've reached out to several business managers, and they even shared me the numbers and decreases that they've seen throughout the years, and it's all been very positive.
Any other questions, concerns, or comments? If not, I will require a motion to approve dissolving the Associated School Board Protected Cross-School District Benefits Fund at the completion of fiscal year 2024. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Cody. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Doug. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Next item on the agenda will require a motion to approve the Northern Plains Insurance Pool Joint Powers Agreement for fiscal year 2025. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Cody. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Carissa. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is the Wrestling Cooperative Agreement.
The only change that's being proposed is that we are gonna make the plan reflect what we currently have as part of our co-op, with it being Freeman Academy, Marion, Freeman Academy, and Freeman Public, for the 3 schools that are part of the co-op.
Menno is no longer a part of this co-op.
And that should have been adjusted last year. That was an error on our part, so.
Got it. Just playing
Going
catch
back
up.
and making it right.
Okay.
Nothing else is changing.
So, do they change to the Phoenix then?
That is not up for discussion.
Rebels.
Jeez.
I mean, I was curious because it's the same.
This is rattling cages tonight. That's not for
Shirts, you know?
Oh, Lord. Okay, any further discussion? If there's no further discussion, we'll require a motion to dissolve the current wrestling cooperative agreement. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Cody,
Second.
second by Doug. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next on the agenda will require a motion to approve the updated wrestling cooperative agreement, as Menno is no longer a part of this co-op. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by David. Second?
Second.
Second by Carissa. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is the MOU between Freeman School District and South Central Child Development Head Start Program.
If you care to view it, it is in your packet. This is standard business that we do every year.
Right. Memorandum of understanding. All right. Any questions, concerns, or discussion? If there's no further discussion, I'll require a motion to approve the memorandum of understanding between the Freeman School District and the South Central Child Development Head Start Program for the 2024-2025 school year. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Carissa, a second.
Second.
Second by Doug. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda, school board will hold a discussion about health insurance rates for fiscal year 2025.
Okay, going back to that first sheet that we were looking at, the quote from NPIP. On that second page is kind of where I broke down each plan, and basically I did the same percentage that the school board pays currently on our plans and just copied that. So you can see on the $1,000 one, we pay 100 for the single, 70 for the rest. On the 1,500, we pay 100% single, 71% on the rest. And then the $2,000 deductible, we pay 100% single, 74% on the rest. So I broke that down, and then I kind of put in, well, I'm getting ahead of myself. So pretty much I'm taking, for these rates, I'm taking the same percentage we pay now and plugging it in and just copying it. So you can see on the right-hand side is what our new rates would be potentially for next year. On the back page, you can kind of see the breakdown by who currently is on our plans and what we would be saving monthly and yearly, and then you can see the total. So we have 29 employees on a single plan, 1 on employee and spouse, 3 on employee and children, 4 on family, and then we pay 8 employees, that's per policy, full family.
Sure.
So those current employees on this plan, I'm putting them up to the $750 deductible plan for NPIP. They actually offer a $750 one. Just this year, they won't have it for the following year though. So I kind of moved every employee up to the more expensive deductible just to give us some more cushion and kind of guesstimate what our savings would be and kind of how much it would cost us. Any questions on the left-hand side? So then on the bottom of that left-hand side, I would like to move everyone with this pool. They offer life insurance, and that we pay the, not $100,000 benefit, we pay the $10,000 benefit, and it's a little bit cheaper than the current pool we're in. So you can see the savings, it's like $500 a year. So on the bottom, our total district savings in a year, kind of guesstimating, that's where everyone will land up, will be $178,000, a little bit over. So on the right-hand side, that's kind of where I broke down the expenses. So currently we offer dental, but right now it's all employee paid, employer doesn't cover it at all. So Jake and I kind of discussed it. Maybe it's something in the district could pay 50% for single and family. This is budgeted, this is based off if every single employee, 63 employees, went on a family plan. So that would be that amount. That's probably not gonna happen, but just to be more conservative, budget-wise, that's how I calculated that. So then you can see the penalty to leave, ASBSD, And then we kind of discussed, Jake and I, contributing to an FSA for employees, just because their out-of-pocket maxes would be going up for next year. It'd be a one-time $500 for every employee that is on a health insurance plan. It'd be per policy holder. So for the spouses here, it would just be one $500. It wouldn't be the $1,000. So that's based off, again, all 63 employees going on FSA, which currently we don't have all 63 employees on our health plan right now. We have like 54. There are some fees to do an FSA account, some admin fees. So it's basically $3.85 per employee per month. So that's where that $2,910 comes from. And then there's a one-time admin fee of $250 a year. Not a year, I'm sorry. It's just a one admin fee. So you can kind of see all those added up together. $154,831.60. So that kind of leaves us a cushion of $23,000. I think that's important because we might have some people hopping on health insurance that we don't currently have on health insurance. So that's kind of the breakdown in our thought process behind coming up with these premiums.
A percentage of that pot of money is 82% is getting rolled back into our benefits plan, and then we're using the rest as a cushion, and we can reevaluate after this next year.
And we really wanted to stick a majority of this into premiums. One, because the teacher accountability,
Right.
teacher compensation accountability, and two, we have this one chunk of money to put it back into our employees' pockets rather than us paying premiums just in health insurance. That was kind of our thought process.
I like it.
We feel that 23 or about 24,000 is good enough cushion if people switch plans around and things like that?
Honestly, yeah. So we have 63 employees that would be eligible for health insurance. We have 54 on there now, but really there's 6 more because of spouses. So really we only have like 5 people that aren't on health insurance. And we pay 100% single now, so if they wanted to be on health insurance, I don't know why they wouldn't be on that.
Right.
So that was my thought process. I do think it's enough. And if this year we kind of get burned, now we know for next year, and we won't have to pay that penalty fee.
Right.
That's a big chunk.
Oh, yeah, that's huge. Yep.
Yeah. So I don't think we're gonna hurt ourselves going forward with these premiums. And we don't have to contribute to FSA the following years. We'll do that on a year-by-year basis.
To determine, sure.
So then I kind of put together a fun little benefit guide that just kind of gives a breakdown of what we'd offer for next year, our premiums, FSA information, dental information. One thing that we do not offer this year but would for next year would be group vision insurance. This would be 100% employee paid though. There's no cost for us as a district, just some admin work. Then the last couple pages are just basic life insurance, which we pay for that $10,000 benefit. And if employees want to do that voluntary life insurance, they can opt for that as well, employee paid. And one thing that ASB SD does not have with their life insurance is a employee assistance program.
Oh, sure.
That's on that back sheet. So they can get like 3 free counseling sessions if they needed.
Angela, do you know the people that are currently on life insurance, the supplemental, do they have to go through the whole?
You'll have to enroll. All the fees and everything, they're all the same. Actually, it's a little bit cheaper. He gave me what your rates would be. It's like cents cheaper.
Or do they have to go through another?
Blood test and stuff.
No, it would just roll over. It's still through the standard. So he said he would be grandfathered in.
Yeah.
Another thing with the health insurance that is important to note that Bryce brought up, so it's all through Wellmark, Blue Cross Blue Shield, so anybody that met their deductible or has put money towards their deductible or out of pocket, that'll transition still. They won't lose that.
Nice.
My goal for the rest of this month and a little bit into May is to set up several benefit meetings for employees to come in, since this is a big change, insurance is a lot, to kind of give them the breakdown, help people that have questions on any of it.
Any additional questions or discussion? If there's no further discussion, I'll require a motion to approve the health insurance rates for fiscal year 2025. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by David, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Carissa, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda will require a motion to approve a special school board meeting on April 24th, 2024 at 7 PM in the high school library. You recall this was requested by the negotiations team to review the master agreements. That's more of a comprehensive list of everything in the past that's been negotiated, just in a succinct and more usable document. Do I have a motion?
Moved.
Motion by Doug, do I have a second? Second. Second by Carissa, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda, executive session. We'll require a motion to enter executive session for the purpose of South Dakota Codified Law 1-25-2, parentheses 1. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by David, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Doug, all in favor say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. In executive session, 7:52 PM. Okey-dokey. Okay, these are all the things I think I have to sign for you.